With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and Deadpool 2 opens in just like 2 weeks. And I don't know about you, but my nips can cut glass. I'm excited. This thing's going to be fantastic. I have no doubt that the movie's going to be good. I'm hoping better than the first one, if not just comparable to the first one. However, Ryan Reynolds dropped an interesting bombshell today, and it's one that I do think needs to be talked about. Now, he says here that he's unsure about Deadpool 3, and he thinks that the X-Force movie is next. Now, obviously, based on the marketing for Deadpool 2, we've seen that X-Force is going to be a big part of this. We know that Fox is working on an X-Force movie. We know that Josh Brolin has been cast as Cable for a few of those films. We know even, I think, Zazie Beetz as Domino has also kind of gotten the same treatment. Fox is building towards something, but the whole issue with no Deadpool 3 is fascinating. Now, in an interview here, this is what he says. For Deadpool 3, you know, it's an odd thing to say, but I don't think there will be a Deadpool 3. I think going forward, it would be an X-Force movie, which would be his team, so to speak. So it's not so much like a canceling of the franchise, but more of an evolution of the series. Imagine, let's not talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine, but let's just say the Wolverine leading into Days of Future Past. I think that would be a proper a comparison here, where the Wolverine was his movie and arguably one of the best films of 2013. Fight me on that one. And you got that. And then the next year was Days of Future Past, where again, it was very much a Logan-led film. So that's one of the things that I think he could be possibly referring here to. And I really hope that's not the case. I think both can survive, and I think Fox needs both to survive. I think even ultimately Disney wants both to survive. Why? Because money, baby. Money. Deadpool 1 opened February 2016 with $132 million. Deadpool 2 is on track to pull in $150 million, a bump over the first film. Not like a huge bump, only 18 million, but still 18 million plus is 18 million plus, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. However, Rhett Reese, who is a co-writer on the film, did say this about Deadpool 3 and X-Force. He says, I also think Deadpool 2 is working in an extensive way towards X-Force, which will really be more of an ensemble. But then that will allow us to do both an X-Force movie and a Deadpool 3, which actually contracts back down. I think we'll be able to take two paths. One is where we're launching something bigger, and then another where we're contracting and staying personal and small. So I think it's the best of all worlds, really. Now, here's the thing. Rhett Reese is probably going to be very, very, very optimistic for this. But we are running into a couple snags, so to speak. And the snags really boil down to, well, the Fox-Disney deal. Because this is kind of where Deadpool is going to find himself in limbo. And I think when Ryan Reynolds was saying, we're probably not going to see a Deadpool 3, I have a feeling that has something to do with it. So it's 2018 right now. Deadpool 2 opens up in a couple weeks, which means Deadpool 3, if it gets greenlit by Fox, which it probably will, if they were going for that thing, would open up sometime in 2020. Now, the deal between Disney and Fox is set to end sometime in the middle to end of next year once it goes through the Federal Trade Commission. That $54 billion deal then brings a lot to the table. And everyone's been already asking Kevin Feige, hey, what's going on with the X-Men characters? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Where are things at? Oh my God, what's happening? What we've learned from that is that Kevin Feige has said that we're probably not going to see any X-Men characters introduced into the MCU until at least 2022. Why? To get through Phase 4 and to probably set the stage for whatever the hell is going to come from that. But Deadpool plays a big part in that. Why? Because Deadpool is a success. Deadpool is a bona fide, honest-to-goodness success, and it's one that Bob Iger understands. And that's been one of the biggest points of contention over this entire merger. Not a merger, a buyout. Whether or not Deadpool is going to be rated R, whether or not they're going to continue to release the films with this type of rating, with this type of content, because Disney never likes to mess around with that. Well, at the same time, you can't argue with money. And if they're dropping $54 billion as a way to get their hands on these properties, they understand that big part of that is actually the Deadpool brand, which might be why pushing into X-Force is going to be good to branch out from the current X-Men movies and make it its own thing. Make it, because that's set in modern time. That could be easily integrated into the MCU. We saw the helicarrier at the end of the first Deadpool. So it's hinted a little bit, and it could easily be migrated in one way or another. So I think that's currently what's holding things up. I think Deadpool 3 is what he's talking about, is the Disney buyout, because of how things are. But like I said with Bob Iger, Iger likes money. Iger is in the job to make money. Iger extended out his contract from 2019 to 2022 by 3 years, because there was that rumor that Iger was going to bounce out in June of 2019, right around the time where he would have, if he was going down the path of running for president, would have put him at the right time to do so, to make the campaign. But he extended his contract 3 years in order to oversee this deal, because he knows that it's going to be good. He brought Marvel in, he brought Star Wars in. This is something he wants to make sure goes through, and he'll protect Deadpool as long as he possibly can. Our only hope, though, is that by the time we get to, let's say 2022 would put it at Deadpool 4, perhaps. By the time we get to that particular point, whether or not whoever takes over for him still believes in the property. But if the movie's pulling in $150 million opening weekend, and it's going to give Solo a run for its money the following week, there's money and there's staying power inside of Deadpool. So Ryan Reynolds might just be a little bit on the scared side, but ultimately I think we're going to see both the Deadpool 3 and X-Force, because it just makes more sense. Give him a standalone movie, bring in more people to X-Force, but you don't want to fuck with what's already the goose that laid the golden egg. Now, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch with that particular statement, because we haven't seen Deadpool 2. We don't know if it's going to earn as much as they're saying it's going to earn, but the hype is real and people are stoked. And as long as Ryan Reynolds is still on board and the creative team is still on board, minus that whole Tim Miller drama, I think we as an audience are going to be pleasantly surprised with what we see. So hopefully we'll figure that out soon enough. But anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that this is going to be a big issue? Do you think we're going to get Deadpool 3? Do you think it's just going to be X-Force going forward, them making that ensemble film? Who's right, Rhett Reese or Ryan Reynolds? Let me know in the comments. If you guys haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe, check back often for more content from me. In fact, if you want to see more content from me, you can do so right now.